Okay, so what happened there was the car tried to veer into a lane that was running out. So I had to take over. So it's one of those lanes that, you know, usually merge into the left lane, and it constantly trying to go over to the right. So the lane changing thing on this full self-driving needs a little bit of tweaking, because I can understand you need to change lane to go around something or maintain speed because of a slower traffic, and you have the opportunity to. But I don't know why it always want to change lane towards the right, stay in the right lane all the time. But sometimes it's okay to be in the left lane. So that's very strange. Anyway, the traffic part of this whole thing is another thing that I don't think is avoided, because I can't see that it's avoided traffic. Now I know for a fact that traffic is backed up on the highway, because I got a tip and it's real messed up, but it's still trying to veer me to the highway. So when I get up here to this next light, the light after this next light, then I'm gonna detour. So somehow it needs to build in some type of detour mechanism to still get you to your destination on time. Because if I go in the heart of traffic right now, I'll never get to work on time. Anyway, this is where I disengage, because I'm not going on the highway and it's not thinking to go any other way. So this is where I take over for a good little while, because it's still going to try to divert me to the highway. So one, highway avoidance. I would like to see that built in. And stay in my lane. Sometimes I want to stay in a certain lane. Like if I want to stay in this left lane right now, I don't want to go over to the right lane. That is another request I would like to see fulfilled. Because like I said, sometimes it doesn't even realize that it's going to a lane that eventually is going to run out and you have to merge back over, which makes you look like a weird driver, because they're looking at why is he veering over to a lane that eventually is going to end, and they're trying to get back over. Anyway, my full self-driving time is about to end. I got 5 more days and this is it. It's all over. Of course, Tesla is already sending me invitations to subscribe, but I'm not going to subscribe at this moment. I'm just going to let the trial run out until another major update. They've been doing incremental updates, but it's okay. I just want to have a major update before I say, okay, here's my $99 for the next 30 days. So on this road that I'm traveling, all leads back to the highway up to this point. At this light is where I can turn on full self-driving again after the light, because each one of those streets that from the time I took the detour leads you back to the highway if you make a right. There's ways to get back on the highway, but I don't want to go that highway route. That's the reason why I had to be in control up to this point, because it's constantly trying to take me back to the highway. And like I said, the highway's backed up this morning, so I don't want to be in a backup this morning. Nope. One thing I noticed too, if there's a flow of traffic, it monitors the flow of traffic, which means if the speed change to a lower speed, maybe 10 miles down, it'll say that, you know what, I'm gonna keep up with the flow of traffic, and it doesn't drop the speed down. I've noticed that several times, especially on the highway, because there's certain parts of the highway where it goes from 55 to 65 and 65 to 55. But if everybody's driving at 65, even in the 55, it just maintains that same speed and keep up with the flow of traffic, which is understandable, because if it does a hard brake and everybody's flowing at 65 and it wants to hard brake down to 55, a person behind you can just not paying attention, which could cause an accident. So I understand that. That makes sense. I've done it too. It's justifiable. But at that point, you have to be paying attention. This is where the supervising comes in. Oh, yesterday I was driving and I noticed that the car was noticing that the person in the next lane to me was kind of like veering into my lane. So it was trying to shift over, but it decided that, you know what, I can't shift over anymore. So I'm just going to slow down and see what this driver is doing. Now here's a flashing red light. This is the problem that, like I said, I'm having. And I think it just doesn't understand the flashing light yet. So let's see what it does today. See that? There it goes. It was doing it again. It's hard to explain, but I can feel it. The car jerks and stop, jerks and stop, jerks and stop. Because when the light flashed, those flashes was confusing it. It probably see the flashing light, but when it stops and it's ready to go, it's looking for green, and the green doesn't pop up. So it's just a jerk, stop, jerk, stop, jerk, stop. So that's another thing that I guess they have to work out in the system, to let the light understand that at a blinking red light, as long as it's your turn, it's time for you to go. But yeah, like I said, the person yesterday was veering, and the car noticed that because they were veering into the lane. And what I like about it is when it sees certain vehicles on the road that's potentially I would call them a danger, it marks them blue on the screen. It gives them a blue light, like highlight them in blue, to say, oh, this is I need to watch this person. Yeah, but the console is staying to the right. Sometimes I want to stay in my lane, and I wish I could turn that off. Let it change lane only when it needs to, because you see, it changed lane to get over, and now it's getting back over in the lane that it's supposed to, I guess, stay in. I mean, there was a driver right in my tail. I don't know if it got over because it's trying to get that car off my tail. I don't know. We'd have to see if it does it again another day before my trial run out in that same spot. Okay, let's see what it does now. Since I had one little minor update, let's get ready to turn into my entrance. Let's see if it's gonna pass it. Oh, there it goes again. Yep, I have to take over. Way past the exit and started doing some jerky moves. So that's one little extra thing they have to fix, but it is doing much better in certain areas, but there's little minor tweaking it still need to do, and I know it's gonna get there. I'll see it when it gets there. All right, so that's the end of my drive for today, or should I say this morning. So we'll see later. All right, have a good one.